Hey y'all, let's talk Love and Marriage Huntsville. So the latest episode started off with the comeback group minus Marsau coming together for a meeting. And the meeting got off to a really rocky start. Kimmi gently confronted Melody about her absence, which led to Melody and Tisha kind of getting into it. And it was just a whole mess. Learn how to keep the personal stuff when it's personal time and the business stuff when it's business time. And Tisha in particular kind of kept coming back and forth to the little tiff that they were having. And it was just like, dragging it out. Like, come on, get on to the business part. So when they finally dig into the business part, there was a little bit of back and forth about the fact that the Holts are going to be the constructors, or they propose to be the constructors or the developers. And Maurice, rightly pointed out that they should get multiple estimates for it. So they're going to do that. I think that's the absolute right way to handle business. This whole nobody can beat my quote. Okay, well, let's find out and let's see. And then let's make a decision as a group. So I thought that they handled that part very well. So after the ladies got into a tiff, Melody brings them all together to kind of smooth things over through a spa day. And that turned into like a rag on Melody session. Tisha brought up some super old stuff about a photo shoot. Okay, it was petty, girl, bye. And Kimmi was accusing Melody of being bougie. Now, I'm the kind of person that doesn't think that being bougie is an insult. I would not have taken offense to that. I own my bouginess. Melody, you should own your bouginess too, girl, okay? But I do think that insinuating that she thinks she's better than other people is something that is offensive. And that's where Kimmi seemed to be going with it. And Melody did not like that at all. So they all kind of smooth things over. But I still have the impression that Kimmi doesn't really care for Melody. I mean, Tisha said some really nice words. And Kimmi was real mute over there in the corner, talking about what she said. Okay, girl, I guess y'all don't really like each other. But you have a show to do, so you all have to get along. So the guys got together this episode as well with Marsau and Maurice, trying to offer words of encouragement to Martell on how to smooth things over with Melody. And so Marsau says a lot of stuff I don't agree with, which I'll get into next. But I do think that he gave solid advice in terms of making sure you make time for your relationship and doing something for their anniversary. Martell kind of saying that, well, Melody is too busy. I feel like that's a cop-out. It's a red flag for me because that was the same excuse that he used for cheating on her for a year and a half and having a whole nother girlfriend. That's a cop-out. It's trying to absolve yourself of any responsibility of making the effort forth that you need to. And the only reason why a woman would tell you she doesn't want to do anything for your 10-year anniversary is because she doesn't trust you to do the right thing. And she's mentally preparing herself to be let down or to try to not be let down. So what Martell has a responsibility to do is to make up for his screw-ups and put the effort forth and show her that he could be the husband that she deserves. So speaking of Marsau, he was in rare form this episode. And I don't know if it's just because it's a reality show and they need a villain and he's willing to do that and say outrageous things. I really hope that's the case because almost everything that came out of his mouth was chauvinistic and appalling. In particular, his attitude towards parenting was just astoundingly bad. I mean, he said that his wife has 3 kids and he just happens to be the father. Let me tell you something. You're not babysitting your kids. You're not watching your kids. It's called parenting. And parenting is a 2-person responsibility. And it doesn't matter if your wife is a stay-at-home mother. You are not absolved from your responsibility of parenting. Okay? Just because you go to work, it doesn't mean that when you don't have to work, that you get a day off. There is no days off from being a father, and there's no days off from being a mother. And so if somebody wants to do something, you're not doing them a favor by watching your own damn kids. So he needs a reality check, and Tisha has obviously made it entirely too easy. So last thing I'll say is I think that Tisha and Marsau's situation is a perfect example of going along to get along. And it's obvious that Tisha just went along with Marsau's insistence that she should stay at home and be a stay-at-home mom while he goes out and makes all the money. And she just went along with it, I think, because he's a very strong personality. And that's not really what she wanted to do. Or maybe she thought she'd be fine with it. But now as the years have gone by, she's changed her mind. And I think people have a prerogative to change their mind. Marsau seems to think that Tisha is like 5 years a slave or some sort of indentured servant. And because she said 5 years, that means 5 years. No. What difference is 3 years or 2 years? He needs to learn how to scale back his ego. Tisha is not his child. She's not his servant. She's not his mammy. And respect her and the fact that she wants to grow and contribute more. And maybe if he wasn't such a chauvinist about her contributions, maybe she wouldn't feel like she needs to step it up and do things outside of the home.